Nigeria Info.
Sixteen minutes gone past the hour of 4. Good afternoon to you, and thank you for staying tuned. And yes, you're listening to Hard Facts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakurubatiba. So I want us to have a quick conversation, and it's something on my mind that I'd like to share with you. It's a border, and I hope that I will be able to get a solution by the end of the conversation. All right, so because time is fast spent, I'm going to quickly run through my conversation. And if you have seen the topic on Facebook, for those of you who are using the Facebook platform to follow up the show, you would know that my topic is inflation is now 26.72%. What that means is that the statistics, the data for the month of September concerning the cost of things in the country has been calculated and is now said to have increased to 26.72 from 25.7, and that is such a huge increment. And it really tells you the current state of things as pertains our economy. And I like to think that there are several factors. First of all, the petrol is one factor. The foreign exchange is another factor. And I like to see Nigeria reap the benefits in the long run, because I do hope that we reap the benefits, because according to economics on paper, these policies may just be good policies, may just take us out of the doldrums where we find ourselves in and get us to a point of financial buoyancy. But I do not know for how long Nigerians will be able to sacrifice, because the statistics also says that food inflation is somewhere above the region of 30%. Now, with food inflation above the region of 30% and the dollar to the naira at the black market, and I'm using the black market because the CBN is still struggling, to make available foreign currencies to manufacturers, to importers, to people who need, the dollar to do business. And that's one of the reasons why the black market is exchanging at such high rates. And it is yet again because there is the scarcity when you look at the former channels to getting these foreign currencies. So with dollar above 1,000 thereabouts, it's really, really difficult for us to stabilize our economy. Also, you want to look at it from the angle that we're not generating as much revenue as we should. And if we're not generating, it means that our production, our manufacturing sector is not doing as great as it should. Companies are, set to be closing down, which may further worsen. And another reason why, food items are cost is because there's been some problems, some challenges with the distribution process of foods from, places where agriculture is, the mainstay of the region's economy, to places where they don't do much agriculture activities. And this is, some people say, as a result of bad roads in some places, insecurity in others, flooding in others, and these are some of the issues. However, I am more interested in you, and that's why I want us to have this conversation, because if for September inflation is set to be 26.72%, if in September, October would have already been experiencing even a worse situation, because for some months now, inflation is continually rising, and there has not been a time when we have had inflation reduced in a long, I think in about 4 or 5 months now, or even more, right? So there is the possibility that things are already worsening, and as the dollar continually rise, prices of items maybe, especially because we are more import driven, would also go up, maybe, I'm just saying. So I'm more concerned about you. While our legislators are looking at getting SUVs, while our legislators are looking at buying vehicles, because that is what seems to be the problem of the day. That is what seems to be the main problem. While all of that is happening, I'm very much concerned about you, because the dollar beating up the naira means the naira does not have value. It's not going to be able to afford the things that it used to afford before now, and that's the reason why many people also want to store their money in dollar form, and also causing the dollar scarcity that is currently being experienced. So what's your take on it? How are you coping? How are you getting by? Because I do know that for a lot of people who are working out there, your companies, what you work for, have not increased your salaries, and even if they do increase the salary, the money is never ever enough. So how are you getting by with the cost of living, with the high cost of living? I should add that, with the high cost of living, how are you getting by? How are you surviving? How are you able to maneuver? How are you able to navigate, especially for those who are married and have children? So this is what I want to talk about, because every time, even though it's not as interesting as political conversations, every time that I have the opportunity, I talk about inflation, because it's affecting you and I. I may not be an economic expert in it, but I can have a conversation as to how it is affecting you as a person. So please, can you tell me, how is it impacting on your life? The high cost of living, how is it affecting you? I'd like to hear from you. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. There is a commercial break coming up in a few seconds time, so I'll just quickly run through one or... Okay, I'll take this call now, and then we'll go for the break. Hello, what's your name? Okay, all right. We missed that. Please do call back 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. For WhatsApp, use the WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling in from? Yeah.
This is Ignatius calling.
All right, welcome, Ignatius.
Yeah. Thank you for the program. It is affecting me. But what I want to say now is this. See, let's 1981 or 1882. I need somebody who bought a Volvo car at the rate of $13,600. But he paid 9,000 something naira. Which means that dollar was at 70 kobo. Naira was, at 70 kobo per dollar. We keep on things. Inflation, giving statistics from this one to another one. Dollar makes naira at the rate of $1. 1 naira.
All right. I'm sorry. I have to cut you short now at this point, because I've got a commercial break. But when we come back, we continue.
From the heart of the South region of Nigeria, Marketplace Apostles International presents the 13th edition of Make in Nigeria Conference and Exhibition 2023. 6 days, 1 event, 3 halls, and 1 field. Holding from the 23rd to 28th October 2023.
treating the topic, inflation is now 26.72%. There is an increase, and that means that for the month of September, the cost of living increased further. And there is the likelihood, from my personal calculation, I might be wrong, that there may be a further increase in the month of October by the time we get to see the statistics. And we are in the month of October, and we are facing the realities. And I'm asking you, how are you navigating, maneuvering this high cost of living? Now, maybe I didn't mention some of the things that made inflation jack up are food. Yes, food and non-alcoholic beverages, and it contributes 13.4% to inflation. Housing, water, electricity, gas, and oil fuel contributed 4.47% to inflation. Yes. And these things that I've mentioned are very, very important things to the existence of you and I. For you and I to be able to live a comfortable life, at least a basic life, we need house, shelter. We need to eat food. Yes, we need to eat food. We need water. We need electricity. We need gas. Now, other things that are added majorly to inflation were clothing and footwear, 2.04%, because you have to wear clothes, right? Transportation, which is very vital, 1.74%. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the phone lines now and get your thoughts on this. How are you benefited? How are you getting by? How are you maneuvering your way as it pertains to the high cost of living? I'd really love to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. For WhatsApp, use the number 0809 030 6416. But then again, how do we get... Very difficult to ask. I'm going to speak Clinton. Clinton, afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, we are living in a country where our leaders keep asking us to make sacrifices. They cannot make sacrifices for the country. Just of recent, they got delivery of 200 million worth of SUV, 300 senators, make Canada. That's huge amounts of money. If you go to the market, Canada, the cost of commodities is very, very high. A cup of rice goes as high as 300 naira. A mini basin of Gary is about 500. After going to Sudan is nothing. I want to make money naira every day. So someone like me that averages an average income of 50,000 naira, how do I survive monthly? So we are looking at measures that can counter this. So we have to cut costs. Maybe if you 3 times, you don't do 1 time a day. It's really bad, and we are hopeful. I am hopeful that this sacrifice that we are making will turn out to be positive for us in the future.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Clinton. Thank you for your time. Thank you for calling in. But then again, do you think we should go into a lot of us now individually should go into agricultural activities, because this will bring down the cost of food? If food is everywhere, of course, it will bring down the cost of food. What am I saying? So individually, we can have small gardens where we plant ugu, tomatoes, and all those sort of stuff that are very vital to our everyday cooking. So we can begin to reduce, because food and housing and non-beverages were things that topped the items that increased inflation in the month of September. Caleb came from Owerri. Let's listen to Caleb. Caleb, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so those SUVs that this guy bought, they put it through with 450 million, 200 million. I do asset marketing on that, so I'm not telling you stories. I'm telling you what's obtainable.
Okay.
So these guys, they don't have us at heart. For any reason, people are dying, suffering, and they're buying cars, millions, causing the inflation itself. So Canada is a very big problem. And I want to let them know that a time is coming when they push the masses to the wall.
But Caleb, I'm asking a question. Caleb, I'm asking a question. I don't know if you would agree with what I'm asking. But could it be that it is our laziness that has also caused this inflation? Laziness in the sense that we no longer have farming. Everybody wants to do a white-collar job. Everybody wants to work in an oil company. And so the food prices keep rising and, causing inflation to go up as well.
No, sir, it's not laziness. For example, now look at the Songhai farm in River State.
Yeah.
The president governor came and started doing something about it.
Okay.
What governor wants to do in agriculture?
But what are we as individuals doing in agriculture? Individually.
Now, in the north, we discover that insecurity does not allow farmers to do anything in the farm again.
All right.
Look at Benin. And that is causing inflation and food insecurity.
Okay.
Government don't want to do the right thing. So they need to create a stable environment for us to thrive.
All right then. Thank you very much, Caleb. I've got Austin from Rukpoku. Austin, good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show.
Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for this topic you have to. It's shameful. I think after this election that just passed, I made up my mind. I said I will never come to dance voting again. Because I see no reason why someone would deceive me after 4 years or 8 years and tell me all pretty promises end of the day, only to trim my previous and then realize SCGC are giving out. And I can't send anyone to the factory myself for 5,000 naira to even cook food. I'll be coming out to join the next few of entering the taxes there. I have to be coaching. Where are we heading? This is all I think it's just a scam. There's nothing to eat. I just pray we'll go back to those days of Philippines.
No, we're not praying. Austin, we're not praying for violence.
Democracy are enjoying.
All right then. Thank you very much, Austin. Thank you very much. We've got to let you go. We're not praying for a coup or any of that. We're not having it. But hey, what are you thinking? Concerning our current inflation rate. I'd like to hear from you. How is it affecting you? When we come and say inflation, it's big English. It means the high cost of things in the marketplace, the high cost of goods and services in the marketplace. And the increase in inflation rate is signal or is symbol to the fact that the prices in the marketplace has increased. And how is it affecting you? And that's what I want to find out on the show. A lot of times we talk government and all the policies and all that other stuff. But personally, sometimes we should talk about your hard facts as well. So how is it affecting you? But then again, there is a follow-up question. Could it be that you and I have become so lazy and so, what's the word now? And entitled, that's the word. And we become so entitled that we wait for everything and we don't do anything anymore. Could we, despite our day job, go back to the farms and start, planting one or two so that we can bring down the prices of some of the commodities in the marketplace? Ernest is calling from Rumobiakani. Ernest, greetings. Good to have you on the show. Let's hear your thought.
Thank you. I think the truth is that it is not easy. At one point, our quick at Nigeria has good. We are good in finding a way to always make us for ourselves because of the corruption system in the country that has eaten so deep into our marrows. So people don't care. People don't want to fight for justice. People don't want to fight for. People always want to look for a way out. If you ask now, say, is it only me? Is it only me? We always look for excuses. Like if I talk now, you will tell me that in other countries. And our leaders have seen it. We know how to give example with other countries or with other persons. So we don't want to fight for anything. If not, with all we have in this country, we wouldn't be in this mess. We have masses who are ready for good country. We would have been in the street, market, school, driver, everybody will stop. So we'll be in the street until the government is doing policies and doing things. Okay, look at the inflation. We are talking about inflation. When look at our assembly members planning to buy a car, 100-something million. The media are not talking about. What are anybody doing? Nobody doing anything. Everybody keep quiet. And we're talking about inflation. What kind of inflation are you talking about? A country that actually has inflation will be budgeting for such a thing. So we the masses, because we are finding a way to steal, to make up, we find a way to corruption, to make up, we don't care. Nobody cares. If the government agency, I always find a way to make it up. That's the life we are living.
All right.
I wonder how long.
Hello, you were saying?
Okay. So we have it has become a culture to us. It has become a lifestyle to us. That's why we don't care again. But the truth is that people are dying in silence. People are suffering. I know what I'm talking. I know how many people called me a day for food.
All right then.
I know how many people. So it's really tough. It's a hard time. And we the masses and we the media, everybody needs to rise up. So we can make the country.
But you know,
what will happen? Nobody can control it.
Like the president.
I just pray that doesn't become.
All right. Like the president will say, these are sacrifices for a better future, for the future of our children and our children's children, and we would have to make it, he says. So I'm wondering if it's a word of sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice that we must make. But let's read some messages. This one says, Kalada, before the removal of petrol subsidy, my salary used to be 120,000. But after subsidy was removed, my company had to reduce it to 97,000 in order to survive. Ordinary Nigerians are seriously suffering. Each day I go to work, I meet people either begging me for food or to pay their transport fare. While our representatives are more interested in SUV cars, sisters in someone called people are suffering, not sure how long can continue to endure, it said. But I got Best from Degima. Best, greetings. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please? Let's hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, greetings to you.
You know that Nigeria is the most peaceful country that we have on planet Earth.
I don't know, but I don't think that statistics is right, but go ahead.
Do you know a number of people that are suffering in their houses? No food to eat, no way for them to pay school fees, no way for them to travel from one place to other, no way for goods to come. Do you know how much we pay for we to travel to Port Harcourt? Do you know how much they charge us for little goods that we carry? If Nigeria is not a peaceful country, people could have come out to protest. The lecturers that we have, the professors that we have, the businessmen and the businesswomen, the marketers, the Okada riders, the bus riders, everybody could have come out on the street. By the time we come out of the street, you will know that things will come down. The government will listen to us. The things they are very peaceful. Things are going the way they are going. They are just suffering us. The politicians don't care. The only thing that they care is for them to come and give us one cup of rice for we to eat for 4 years or 8 years. And then suffer them all. What kind of country is this?
All right then. All right, thank you very much, Best. The fact Best called from Degima just reminded me of another angle to the conversation. We would need to improve our revenue, and one way to improve our revenue so we can have more access to dollars and help our naira, and help boost our our currency, and even maybe reduce inflation, because the more production happens or the more revenue is generated from inside, then the possibility of reducing both inflation and improving the naira. But for that to happen, it means that the boys who are busting pipelines and involving in illegal refining would have to, step on the brakes. There's the other angle to it. And the other angle to it is, I don't know, sit up and invest. What do I say? But let's read this message. I am of the opinion that every state government invest in food production. Religious organizations should also invest in agriculture. They should not only invest on education. 70 to 80% of the food we consume comes from the northern part of the country. Our religious organizations should go in for agriculture. It will create employment for those graduating from the schools they build. It will boost food production and increase our IGRO. If churches can invest in education by building mega schools, they should also diversify by considering good production or food production. I think you meant in the society, instead of producing graduates to flood the labor market. Hector with that one. I've got Obed. Obed is calling from GRA. Obed, welcome.
Kalada, good evening.
Yeah, greetings. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Kalada, I don't know how you journalists are trying to view this issue of the economic partner we find ourselves. You talk about put blame.
No. I've not put blame on anybody. I'm looking at it from all the angles, all the possible angles.
Kalada, let's leave individual first of all.
Okay.
Let's look at those at the helm of affairs.
Okay.
If what was obtainable was done a few years ago, Nigeria would have been suffering what we are suffering today. You understand? Okay, look at our international market. Right now, many oil producing nations are making profit, but Nigeria are not making profit because we are not producing.
All right.
Nigeria is the only country that has a crude oil that doesn't refine their own crude oil. They send their crude oil outside. Then we are talking about individual. What has that got to do with individual?
Obed, can I come in now? I was going to say something.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I was going to say something not so long ago, but I changed my mind. But since you have pushed me in the direction, I'll say it nonetheless. The people can take it upon themselves to push their governments at the state level, at the local government, to also be productive, because it looks like everybody's waiting for the federal government, to do something before, there can be some economic movement in the country. I do want to say, so nobody says I'm attacking the state government or I have a beef against anybody, but the truth is we need the state governments, the 36 state governments, to begin to be productive and not wait till the end of the month to go collect allocation.
Kalada.
Yeah.
I understand what you say.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, as an individual, let's say you want to go into farming, you will only be limited to subsistence farming, right?
Yeah.
But if government comes in, it becomes mechanized farming, right?
Yeah.
Where you can be able to produce more. Because right now, people are not even talking about using hands to farm and all that.
But Obed, this is...
So where is government coming?
Obed, this is...
State of the stagnation. Where are they coming in? Okay, look at Niger Delta alone. How many state governors in Niger Delta have taken it upon themselves to say, okay, let us revolutionize the various states in terms of agriculture? How many? And we are putting blame on individuals. What are individuals going to do?
No. Nobody has put blame. See, it was a suggestion. So you've talked about subsistence farming, but imagine you do, I do, Zion does, everybody does. Food in little scales. Food becomes,
Everybody must not farm at a time.
Okay.
Right?
All right. If you say so.
Of course, it's not possible, Canada.
Okay.
Everybody must not farm.
Okay.
For the ones who are willing to farm and who are ready to partner with the government, go to partner with them directly. We had the problem of elected from by the Rivers government under Rotimi Amaechi.
All right.
At the end of it, we are shouting him as farmer. You understand? These are the problems we have. So for me, I do not see individual in here. The government fails to do what they are supposed to do. They fail to diversify the economy. We are depending on the oil. Even the oil is properly managed. That is what we are suffering today.
All right, Obed, thank
you. You need to see the suffering on the street. People are suffering. I bought petrol at the rate of 640 naira. Now, which likely petrol might go up at any time, any moment from now.
All right.
It goes up to 1,000 plus. And that is something that now that's suffering.
All right, thank you, Obed. I've got to go now. Thank you. Obed, thank you very much. I've got Alvalance. Is it Avalanche or Avalanche? What's your name?
Yeah,
please?
Elder Avalanche.
Avalanche, okay, Avalanche it is then. Welcome.
How are you, my son?
I'm very fine. Welcome.
Now, the truth is always bitter to be told to Nigerians.
All right.
When I was growing up, I never saw Nigeria in this way. I wonder where this set of leadership is coming from. Now I will tell you, if elders and departed elders of this nation shall rise and put a curse on these leaders, it will be disastrous on them. Why can't they feel the pains of those they are leading? Why should Nigeria turn to become a shameful place to people. What an atrocity. Why are these people this wicked? Pensioners, they will not listen to. Children going to school, they will not listen to. Those that are sick, they are not after. All they do is for them and to their families alone. If cost is rendered on all of them, it will be very disastrous. I know that there are still elders in this country who never saw Nigeria this way, what is happening today. If they will, in their wisdom, speak and call the founders of this nation against these so-called leaders, it is going to be very terrible on them. People are suffering in this country.
All right. Thank you very much.
I heard this morning that they're going to buy for themselves big cars to use and brought half cup of rice to Nigerians to eat for 4 years. Is God not in heaven? It is going to be very soon. What you will hear in this nation, it may not be through coup, it may not be through any protest, but God will rise one day against them.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elder Avalanche. I've got Zion is out. Sorry about that, Zion. But reading this message, it says the National Assembly purchasing SUVs of over 140 million naira when the country is badly facing a high rate of inflation. While some lawmakers are asking us to make sacrifices, my question remains: when will they make their own sacrifices, or are we now recognized as sacrificial lambs until political offices are made unprofitable ventures? Till then, the inflation will continue to bite harder because nothing positive is going on. We are being controlled by their consequences. Comrade Iceberg. Okay, boo. All right, thank you very much. And this one says the political leaders don't have any progressive policy that will salvage our situation. They are merely there for their personal gains while we suffer the consequences of their heaven. Indeed, the hell of the people is the heaven of the political class, Comrade Iamadu Charles. Okay. This one says, man of the people, greetings. Whatever we are buying now in the market is with anger because we are living in fear in Nigeria. Something of 1,000 naira today, tomorrow is 1,500 naira. And you want people to be happy? Since Tinubu assumed office, it is one increment to another. Canada, there is hunger in the land. From Tango Ability at Twigbo. All right, I'll keep those calls coming in. I've got 2 more minutes. I would have to wrap up after because there is a commercial break coming up by that time. So what is your take on all of this? Like Obed Chima mentioned, there is the possibility that it might even increase further. It will be determined by the government at the federal level because looking at the current data for crude oil, Brent crude is selling at $90.24 a barrel. Light crude is selling for $87.14 a barrel. So that means we are going to be buying fuel importing fuel at a very expensive price or cost, and it will be determined by the government if it wants to pay subsidy or not. If it does not pay subsidy, then petrol price may rise to even higher figures, and that will also now stimulate inflation to rise some more. So I mean, it's a dire situation we find ourselves in. But the commercial break is here. I've got to go. We'll continue this conversation, the open season. So you want to stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.